He's a washed-up former world champion who's not that good at chess anymore, and he should shut the fuck up. Okay, what is this? Let's watch this video.
It's not...
You're looking at the engine, Danya, but you are playing.
Verbally describe something that by definition is verbally undescribable, which is f***ed up. I don't have a bot or anything of the sort, I'm just playing.
It's by all definition cheating, and you say you never cheated.
Every time I cut off one head, 3 more heads appear in their place. If you win tournaments that are strong enough, you would have been 2,700 a long time ago. Stop saying that you didn't say something when it's caught on tape. What? Wait, let's get that in slow motion. The nature of these accusations, non-accusations, is that
non-accusations,
as I said at the start of the stream, and evolve. The form of them evolves every time. So every time I address one thing, it's like I never said this. This was never the issue. There's this other issue and these other questions, and then I address those. It's like a game of whack-a-mole, and the problem never actually disappears. It like every time I cut off one head, 3 more heads appear in their place. But I will try to cut off all of the heads.
I mean, that's the problem. That's why you can't give an inch. The moment you give an inch, you give credibility, they're just going to harp on it to the end of time. And there's nothing that, I mean, I hate to say this, but there's basically nothing that Danya can do that's going to stop them from saying that he's cheated. There's nothing that's going to change their mind. Their minds are set forever, and there's nothing that Danya can do to change it.
At once, when I did the Bishop C8 explanation, the fact that I had to do it is already a sign of the times. Truly, it breaks my heart.
I'll pull my scramble a little bit so I'm not
responded
looking
on
down so
Twitter
much.
saying several of the top GMs, presumably the same mysterious top GMs, which include Nepo and a top GM by the name of Top GM. I think I saw him playing in the Gashima Memorial. Oh, he dropped below 2,700 recently, and we lulled at it.
And we know who that is, obviously. It doesn't even need to be reiterated. You guys obviously know who that GM is, who fell under 2,700 recently. There's no doubt who it is.
We listened to Daniel's explanation and lulled at it, and in a YouTube comment he said that for amateurs it's believable, but anybody, like, as a GM knows the truth. Okay, so first I'm going to show you that that's demonstrably false in a second, but that is absurd for so many different reasons. Just one is that what you are essentially asking me to do in the first place is to verbally describe something that by definition is verbally undescribable, which is your intuition.
Correct.
Which is
very true.
Up. I'm going to do what Vlad does. I'm sorry to be a little bit blunt here, but there's just no other way to say it. This move has a concrete idea, like there's...
Yeah, I mean, this is really the problem. I mean, this is the problem. It's like, for example, if you look at many games I played, probably even games I played today, like, I say that the position feels a little bit off. Like, you feel like something's wrong, but to verbally describe that, it's intuition. There aren't words to describe it. You know, the irony to that statement is that at the end of the day, if computers can explain their quote-unquote intuition, like, we as humans will become so much better at chess. If computers could actually explain, instead of it being numerical, like, actually in, like, actual language, explain their moves, we'd be much better. So, like, this is just a huge issue.
Something in the position that led my brain into the general region of this move, and I described it, it was the fact that he hemmed in his own bishop. But there are components of this move that are general. This is what it means to understand a structure. There are moves that aren't, you know, attached to like a super concrete idea, but rather in static positions, it's just a move that you consider. It doesn't harm your position, and it improves certain aspects of it. Eric Hansen has called this absurd. Mon Hamilton has called this absurd. And another GM that I want to shout out is Arthur Snakesons, who is, first of all, just a class act. Bishop to c8. Okay, second move of the engine, opening up the rook, but not really, right? Because rook g5 isn't really a threat. That seems too obscure. I mean, same structure.
Actually, you know what's funny? Bishop c8 is a weird move here. Like, Bishop c8 is not the most obvious move, because rook g5 doesn't do anything. After knight c4, rook g5, king h1, you don't actually have a threat. Like, you can sack the rook, but after king g1, bishop h3, rook e1, white's just fine. Like, this is another example. Like, bishop c8 is not actually a move that looks like the best move. It doesn't.
Threat. That seems too obscure. I mean, same structure, bishop c8. These are all just Snakesons. Bishop c8, very similar position. So Artur's clearly cheats. Oh, top move, bishop c8. Artur's, why are you incriminating yourself? I don't know what could be said about this, but I urge Vlad to take this back first and foremost, because of everything that is absurd, and there's a lot absurd here, this might be the cherry on top. Explain your intuition. Okay, I explain it. Why did you just explain your intuition? Like, how can you explain your intuition if it was your intuition? It's a situation where no matter what you say, it will then be used to manufacture.
I'm gonna put this on 1.5 speed. Actually, I'll put it on 1.5. Put it on 1.5.
Like the next unexpected turn. Are you a witch? No, I'm not a witch. I don't know. I don't know what a witch is. Oh, how do you know that you're not a witch then if you don't know a definition of a witch, right? It's very, very telling. Remember the bishop c8 moment? No, because I didn't play it, right? So this is where I point out bishop c8. Now the video is paused. Up, he looked up. Oh, there again.
Okay, go here. Try to squeeze this out.
Up, looked up again. Up, there he goes again. So here's the interesting thing, folks. It's minus plus here after bishop c7, but bishop c3 is a mistake, and king f6 is a mistake, and it goes from -2 to equal, right? The next two moves after the biggest smoking gun that undoubtedly is supposed to prove that I have a wall.
Is 1.5 too fast? Okay, 1.5 too fast. I can keep up with it, but okay, I'll go to 1.25.
Fascinating. It's a big monitor. I don't know what the size is. It's like a 27 or 28 inch. I'm gonna have like a gaming setup, 2 big monitors with a camera between them. I'm sitting with my eye level. It depends. If I sit in my old chair, which I'm sitting in now, and I like lean back, I'm seeing like the 4th rank. So to see like the tabs, I have to do this.
This is so sad.
I'm looking up to see the tabs. I'm looking at my monitor. As far as the saccades to the side, allegedly at the wall.
No,
I
but
mentioned the word slanderous lies.
I'll tell you guys why. The reason that he is responding to this is because like he's really hurt by this. Because Danya knows that he's not cheating, and then these are people that he looks up to. I mean, these are legitimately people that he looks up to, and it doesn't end. It's like as soon as he proves one point is complete or one of their claims is complete nonsense, then there's another claim, and I think Danya might even say this, but legitimately, I think Kramnik was his hero growing up. I think Kramnik was like his hero, literally the guy that he respects the most. And now it's literally getting just attacked every single day on Twitter. Literally every single day.
I don't use this term lightly. A lot got mad about that. Where are these lies? Be specific. This is line number 1. Line number 2, apart from the fact the first sentence of the video was untrue, is the fact that I could not possibly be looking at the computer. Here is the setup, and let me prove that to you right now. If you watch my eyes, at any point in the video, I'm constantly darting. I try to reproduce the setup. I use that monitor, my old one. I open chat on it just to simulate a stream, and you can see when I look to the left, I'm not looking at a wall. Do you want me to slow it down? And if there's anyone who claims that the eye movements differ, please tell me exactly how and provide eye tracking data, because I don't believe that they do, and I compared. Just there it is again. There was a look to the left, perhaps at an 18+ movie. There it is again. Here it is. It clearly shows that I don't have a bot or anything of the sort. I'm just.
By the way, though, I do want to say one thing about this. Like, I'm gonna say one thing though. It's not to be like really critical of Danya, but like, dude's doing very well as both a streamer and working at the chess club in Charlotte. He should have a standard setup that he uses every time. Like I do, for example. So, other than when I'm on the road traveling, like if I'm in California or if I'm in Florida, like I have the exact same setup with like 2 monitors, literally in the same spot, camera exact same spot. So that is one thing I would say that Danya is doing well, so he really should have like a standard setup, like have 2 monitors, like be more professional like a streamer. That is the one thing that I would say about this. But yeah, still, whatever, who cares?
Playing, and this is actually what the setup looks like when I play. I have chat open. As you can see, I do look everywhere with my eyes because I'm looking around my computer screen at the game. Here's Vlad himself doing what every chess player does. Okay, but you can see the eyes are off to the side. I mean, the monitor's straight up, right? This monitor's straight.
Monitor is obviously here. It's obviously there. And what can be here on the right? I don't understand.
Like what? Wait, let's get that in slow motion.
He's doing what everyone does. Literally every top player does this.
I mean, what is happening?
Oh, he's saying moves as he's looking off to the side.
And this, by the way, is the one thing where you know that this is completely disingenuous. The reason that you know this is disingenuous is because this is one of the few things that actually has to do with something that Kramnik knows about. Most of the stuff that Kramnik is saying is complete trash and he doesn't know anything whatsoever. But this is the one thing where Kramnik has actually played chess his whole career, and he knows that every single player looks away from the board. So this is where you know that he's being very disingenuous. So the other stuff you can say, well, he thinks he's an expert, he's not. But this is where very clearly you know that he's just making stuff up, because he's played chess for 30, 40 years, whatever that number is now. And he's looked away from the board a bunch. Everybody has, because it's what GMs do. You get to a critical moment and you visualize by looking away to the side. That's what you do. Plain and simple.
Okay, I'm not going to be obnoxious and just like fixate on obvious points. what can I anticipate the response to that being? I think the response is, well, these are very particular glances at one location, and you know what you mean, and these are like brief glances, like saccades, like brief eye saccades at the same location in seemingly critical moments. I'm not suggesting, by the way, that what Kramnik did there is weird cheating. I'm saying the opposite. Even looking off to the side at a non-monitor is normal, first of all. Second of all, that is not what I was doing. In 95% of the cases that I was looking, that I was darting my eyes, I was actually still looking at the board. The response from Vlad might be, but I was just, see, this clarifies it. Why are you so aggressive? All I was asking is an explanation. That ain't gonna fly. It is said confidently that I'm not looking at the monitor, which is a lie. And the audacity and mendacity, but the audacity to claim that you know what my setup looks like.
By the way, also, I want to be clear for people who think Kramnik is making money off of this. He's not making money if you think he's making money off of like YouTube videos or tweets. Like tweets don't monetize, and his YouTube is a joke. So anybody who thinks that he's making money, he's not making money off this, unless there are people behind the scenes who are actively paying him to push this narrative to try and bring down certain forces in the world. Which I mean that's very tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility. But if he's making money, it's not off of YouTube videos or off of X.
It's nuts. Comparing it to Petrosian is incredibly disingenuous, because in Petrosian's case, I believe he was looking down. Okay, and there's a clear line. Like when you look down at your hands and knees, that is not a natural motion during an online game. I have never seen someone do that, and that is not the reason that they banned him. They banned him because of his moves. He blunders his queen. This guy. There we go. Now we're here. I wish White would resign here, but I don't think he's going to. Yeah, this is interesting actually. The engine. Wow, this is really cool. So we'll have some interesting analysis to do after the game. I'm looking at the engine, and actually it's not, it's not arguing, it's arguing against taking the knight on g5. It doesn't believe that it's the fastest path to victory. So, wow, the engine line is crazy. Okay, we have a lot to explore as soon as our opponent abandons this pitiful position.
You're looking at the engine, Danya, but you're playing. And you're saying that you never cheated. I mean, sorry, but this is exactly by all definition a cheating. And especially bad that you are doing it, I mean, against very weak players. I mean, you don't need it at all. Also, to explain the mistakes, you don't need to explain an engine to explain that queen d7 is probably a mistake because...
By the way, here we go again with this. Now, this is the only thing that I will say, Danya never should have done that during a game. He should not have done that, but there are a couple things that are missed here. First of all, this is a speed run. It's an educational speed run. So he's trying to explain the moves to the people who are going to watch his video on YouTube, which is something that Kramnik can't get through his brain if he even has one anymore, which is that, it's about explaining things, because that's how you actually make content that people want to watch. Because the vast majority of people are going to be weaker at chess. They're going to be beginner level. They're not going to be top GMs like Kramnik or Nepo or any of these guys where they don't need explanation. They know everything. And that's what's so bad about this. It's literally an educational speedrun. Now, should he have done it? Of course he should not have done it. It's crazy that he did. But I think he also was expecting the game to end, and it didn't end.
You're losing the queen. Danya, why you are using an engine during a game?
Of course, the Kramnik video omits the part where A, it's a speedrun, and B, I clarify where I'm looking, but that shouldn't actually matter. Now, when the video came out, there were a lot of comments about this in the comment section. And I decided, upon reflection, and I'll give you an insight into that reflection, to put out a comment and pin it to the top of the video.
Okay.
And to keep the video up on my channel. Here, I'm going to read the comment to you very, very quickly. I'd like to address several comments. First and most importantly, having an engine running during a game is against the rules. End of story. However, I'd like to strongly request that you take the context into account and treat it charitably. The speedrun series is educational in nature, and as such, my priority at every moment is to maximize the instructive value. You can read it yourself.
Chess.com, another question. I mean, maybe it's a habit, I don't know, but I'm asking questions. Maybe this question you can try to answer.
Also, right? This is also this is why I can't watch Kramnik's video. He's not asking questions. He's full of shit. He's not asking questions. He's gonna accuse and demand this and that and everything else as though he's king of the world when he's not. He's a washed up former world champion who's not that good at chess anymore, and he should shut the fuck up. That's what he should actually do.
I mean, what made you use the engine? You cannot explain this game without an engine, yeah? It's by all definition cheating. And you say you never cheated. And the questions are to Chess.com, why? Chess.com, why are you allowing someone, especially very famous player, YouTuber, to use engine against amateurs, or maybe not only against amateurs? What is happening there? Are you promoting cheating?
Through my lens, it was so not an issue that, unlike what Kramnik says, me saying that I'm using an engine was not a slip of the tongue. I intended to say that because I wanted to make sure people knew that it was happening.
Brave words.
I never thought in my wildest dreams, to be completely honest, that anybody would conjure up the idea that this is a big deal. If I may be so arrogant, perhaps you'll call me, I think that over the course of 4 years in which I've done the speedrun series, I hope that I've gained the trust of viewers in knowing that every modicum of energy is dedicated during the speedrun episodes to making it as instructive of an experience as possible. And it never entered my mind that somebody thought that I could, that this is the moment when I'm going to like reveal my moral bankruptcy in a game with an 1100 when I'm up a queen and a piece. I often have to wait for my opponent to stall out, and I was just trying to make efficient use of my time. To say that like that is cheating, yes, by definition it is. Guess what else is cheating? Playing on someone else's account, which I believe someone did. I have not brought this up for the entirety of my rebuttals because I believed it to be irrelevant, as I still do. But the Kramnik and Krakozia thing, that's cheating, right? But we lose like the meaning of any word if we're just going to like apply this. It would be evil, I think, to say that this is the same thing as cheating in a Title Tuesday game. To suggest that this is evidence of like a pattern of cheating and now lends more validity to any of these other absurd claims is, it makes me, it's disgusting. I'm sorry, it's completely disgusting. Yeah, I'm sorry, but when I do the speedrun, I think that there should be certain liberties that are granted to me. And if you want to, the people who are saying that like this is not okay, and like he's, he knows that chess.com is going to protect him, point me to your speedrun and to your thousands of hours making instructive content, and I will happily be the first to lobby Danny Wrench to give you the power to do whatever it is that you want to make it more instructional. To suggest that I did this out of malice, or, and Vladimir, this is what made me...
For people who are saying the Hans thing, in the chess.com report, they said that he cheated in prize money events, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a big distinction there, because I saw someone just mention that. I do believe that is in the chess.com report, if I'm not mistaken, is in prize money events.
To deliberately manipulate the narrative so that people think that I actually used it on the present position, that my use of it had anything to do with like needing to use the engine to win a queen and knight up. Really? I decided to leave the video up because no, I'm not perfect. And over the course of thousands of hours, yeah, I get impatient sometimes. Sorry to be human. When Vladimir asked me for examples of manipulation, this is textbook manipulation. Now he's talking and reacting. What are you talking about, Danya? First of all, you're like 2640 right now. You have 88 games. You don't have an opportunity to play the top guys, but not just like the opportunity, the desire. You just don't come to the World Blitz Championship. But this is normal, I understand. But you have a chance to play others. I don't know what you're talking about. This is just factually not true. I don't accuse you of anything. I just add facts. Here's your rating. Here's the number of games you played. And your rating doesn't move. If you showed yourself, well, you would have been 2,700. But again, I'm not like saying anything's wrong or accusing you of anything. Probably the tournament is very weak.
He's translating what Kramnik is saying here from Russian to English.
You would have been 2,700 a long time ago. So he delivers this entire spiel. And the reason, by the way, that I did not gain rating, or as much rating, blitz rating, in early 2023 was because FIDE had not implemented their minimum rating gain rule. The tournaments that I played remained largely the same. And of course, another lie is that I never proved myself against serious OTP players. And he didn't say almost, he said any. Okay, that's a direct quote. Of course, skipping the tournament in St. Louis that I played. Am I suggesting that this shows that I'm top 10 in the world in Blitz? Absolutely not. I never made that claim. I will never make that claim. But please adhere to your own standards. Stop saying that you didn't say something when it's caught on tape. I beat Aronian and Robson. I beat Aronian with Black. But all of that doesn't matter because the goalposts will keep shifting. But as for the implication that this is ungentlemanly of me to play, that is beyond ridiculous. I play unrated Blitz tournaments. I play rated Blitz tournaments. And the idea that for the coaches of a chess center that produces talented kids, when we show up at these Blitz tournament, it's big for the kids. They give us their best game, obviously. We are doing our best to bring up
why am I glazing Danya? I mean, it's very clear that he's in the right here. That's why. I mean, you have to stand up for principle. It's very clear. I mean, for anybody who wants that, I mean, as I said at the start, I think it's very, very, I mean, it's insane that he didn't wait till the game was over to open chess base. I do find that insane that he didn't wait to make sure the game was over. But at the same time, trying to say that means he's cheating, using that as going from point A to point Z is disingenuous. It's just disingenuous. That's the reason. And also, I mean, the problem for Danya is that like he's taking a different tack. Like, so for example, when Kramnik literally did all this nonsense regarding me claiming the streaks, starting that petition, you know, for an investigation, all these different things. You know, I basically just shut it down right away because like I'm not going to put up with this. I know that I'm not cheating and I don't have to deal with this nonsense. But Danya's taking the other tack where he has a little bit too much respect, so he's trying to basically prove it factually versus saying just get lost. And that's just a difference of approach, really. That's the bottom line. It's a difference of approach. And I think Danya, unfortunately, perhaps because he's not a top player, I think he's under the illusion that like these people, what they say is actually in good faith and like they actually mean it. Whereas I've played these top guys, I've been around them a lot, and I would say that that's just not the case. That's just not the case at the end of the day. So that's the bottom line. It's all being done in bad faith, and unfortunately for Danya, he thinks these people actually they're not doing it just because they want to get him. They are. That's the problem.
And sort of cultivate a crop of kids who will be the next generation of American chess. To suggest that like I'm playing in this tournament for rating farming when blitz rating does not impact anything at all for me. I didn't make a single video when I crossed 2,700. I don't brag about it. I don't talk about it. Every part of this is a lie, and I wouldn't say anything were it not so specifically directed at like my morals, that our morals are corrupt. That's why we play in these tournaments. The match offer was not made in good faith. Okay, so from a lot of your guys' perspective, it's like, well, okay, you're better at blitz, therefore it's free 50K. First of all, stop pretending like it's easy to beat a former world champion. Even if he says that, he doesn't mean it in a genuine way. He means it in a sarcastic way. Like, of course, in reality, he's not better than me, but that's only because he cheats. I might have a bad match.
This is also where, for example, like you'll notice, by the way, when it comes to this, like there's a reason that Kramnik didn't ever try to play me in a match, because he knows that if he tried to play me in a match, he would get his ass handed to him. Like he would get destroyed if he tried to play against a real top player, which is also why this is being done in bad faith. And on top of that, he won't play with the controls that are being played in Title 2. So like even when he played Jose was way too generous in being willing to play 3+2 instead of playing 3+1 or 3-0. So that's also why it's not in good faith, because if it really was like that, he would actually just challenge me. But he knows that if he plays me, I'm going to actually destroy him, just like I did when we played over the board, and he has a losing classical score against me. Thank you very much. Anyway, let's keep going.
And then this will follow me for the rest of my life. This is crazy. If I have a bad 2 days and I lose, literally I'll have an army of troglodytes just like breathing down my neck for the rest of my life. I'll have to have not.
And also, someone in chat said Nihal. Yeah, you notice how he didn't play Nihal either? He wasn't going to play Nihal Sarin because Nihal Sarin would also crush him too. Nihal would destroy him in blitz. Like that's why it's not in good faith. Because if it's in good faith, he would make the challenge to every single person he's ever accused of cheating. But it's not in good faith because like people like myself or Nihal, we would absolutely destroy him. We would destroy Kramnik completely. It wouldn't even be close.
6 cameras, but 600 cameras. And then the device will move from the wall to my ass. Like, there's no winning. And I'm not angry because I have something to hide. I'm angry because I don't, and because I don't ask anything of these people.
He challenged you but declined? I mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again here. If Kramnik wants to come up with, he wants to put $1 million up, I'll put $1 million up and we can play. He wants to find $1 million, I'll play him. Straight up. He can find $1 million. I'll play him straight up. If he really believes that everybody's cheating and he can beat them and they're legit, find $1 million from your Russian friends, bro.
In the anti-cheating campaign, but I don't cheat. In terms of who's acting like a child here, I'm doing my best to just clear my name, and all I ask is to be left the heck alone so that I can just keep playing. I'm tired of this. These videos that keep coming out, and my hope is that Vlad will adhere to his promise of a dialogue and of acting like an adult. Acknowledge that he has been very, very mistaken in a lot of affirmations and things that he said. And that's not my demand. It's just the ideal. But this is not even my official answer. These are just some spontaneous thoughts that I had.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very sad. I mean, it's very sad. Just the whole thing is really, really bad. And it's actually, I would argue at this point, it's significantly worse than actual cheating that's happening. It's significantly worse. Significantly worse. That's the bottom line. This is much, much worse than actual cheating at this point. It's just completely unacceptable. And I mean, it's really a shame that people don't say anything. But at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. Your official answer should be a lawsuit. Like I said, if somebody else does something, there's a very, very good chance I'll do something too. Let's leave it at that, okay? Very, very good chance. But let's leave it at that for now. So that's the bottom line. And I mean, I think it's really, really bad overall. It's really, really bad. And I mean, I hope that, you know, this stuff dies down and Danya actually can just do what he's doing, what he loves to do, which is playing chess online, making his videos and not have to deal with all this. Like, you also know, for example, when you know that if Danya goes and plays the World Rapid and Blitz in New York and he does badly because of all the psychological nonsense that's going on, you know that Kramnik and others are going to be like, see, that's proof that he's cheating online because he doesn't play as well over the board. Like, you 100% know that that's coming. And that's what's even worse about it. That's even worse at the end of the day about the whole thing.